walk into a Walmart to back up another officer who's been on scene for 7 minutes with the subject that's reported as trespassing. As I walk in, I'm in the store 13 seconds before he pulls a gun from his waistband and starts shooting. I take the first shot through the left eye, exits my right cheek. Second shot is in my left elbow. And then as I'm on the ground on all fours as he's running out the door, he puts another shot in my lower back that's stopped by the vest.
There was a gunfight that ensued. I myself was injured. I was shot. My other partner, Brian, was shot, and we lost Carlos Ledesma, who was a great man.
I was in a foot chase with a drug dealer, and he was a pretty bad guy. And I ended up catching him, and it was a fight. It was just me and him. And by the time it was all said and done, I had detached both of my hamstrings from my pelvis bone. It wasn't the event necessarily that caused PTSD. It was everything that I had been experiencing for the last 20 years in law enforcement. All the dead kids, all the suicides, all the people that had tried to kill me, the car fires, the car chases, everything that we experience on a daily basis.
But I never knew police officers could get PTSD. I never put two and two together of what officers do. I thought they're the people pulling you over, giving you tickets, ruining your day.
I was sent for follow-up within the department on the mental side, a psych eval, and having had been to the group and knowing what issues I was dealing with, it was easier for me to provide those to their psychologist and have them say, you have signs and symptoms of PTSD. From there, I was able to take that and tell Corvell, which the department directed me to, which is work comp, and go back to the department and say, I need to talk to somebody. From there, it took, say it was 3 months before the department approved or work comp approved me to actually talk to anybody. Even having their own doctor tell me I had signs and symptoms, me going out to a sergeant and a lieutenant and telling them both, this is what your doctor's saying, I agree, and I need to talk to somebody. How do I facilitate that? And them having them shrug their shoulders at me, tell me they'd get back to me, and then it being an ongoing thing of me forcing the issue to get help, being allowed to talk to somebody.
My wheels were spinning on that. I was stuck in a loop, just watching that incident over and over again and trying to figure out what I could have done different, how things could have somehow turned out better. And for 8 months, I deteriorated. I was told to just stay home and get better and that I would be compensated and that everything would be okay. And that couldn't be further from the truth.
When I was stuck, literally couldn't move, couldn't do anything to overcome any of these problems. These emotions would well up and my coping mechanisms were gone. And so I would have flashbacks and I would have panic attacks.
The restlessness, the shakiness, the headaches, the flashbacks, the hypervigilance in everyday life.
And I couldn't do anything about it, and I didn't have anybody to help me.
My name is Dave Bugayo, and I'm one of the founding members of PISTLE, which stands for Post-Incident Stress and Trauma in Law Enforcement. It's kind of a mouthful, hence why we settled on PISTLE. We, as officers, got together early on, the founding members, and developed a peer support group that helps officers find hope.
Police officers are in combat for 20 years, and for the first time ever, there's an organization that recognizes the stress and the PTSD in law enforcement, and that's PISTLE.
First, I would say my best friend ran into Dave, and that's how I got informed about PISTLE. No one in the department ever provided that outreach or that way for me to speak to somebody.
I ended up at PISTLE because a coworker of mine found me crying in the hallway. I had gone into crisis while I was at grand jury and couldn't control my emotions anymore. And this coworker, who was a member of PISTLE at the time, found me and realized that I was in a bad way and that I needed some help.
It seems like as the population grows, we're going to have more critical incidents. And to be able to help those who help others only seems natural to make sure that your police officers, the men and women who go out there and sacrifice on a day-to-day, are healthy. That you don't send them home with a feeling of not being supported, with a feeling of hopelessness.
One of the things that PISTLE likes to say is the best way to figure out where you're going is ask somebody on their way back. And so we come not only to heal ourselves, but once we get to a certain point now, we can be the backup for these other officers that are injured, and we can help them work through their problems.
We did as a founding group of officers who came together at the request of a doctor named Dr. Robbie Adler Tapia. She got us together just to talk, just to sit and talk, and whatever came out, and we found some value in it. We found that we were able to begin to network, be able to see what was working for some and what was not working for others, and to be able to communicate that stuff back and forth really helped me not step on the landmines that were already stepped on by somebody else. So this group, eventually, we decided that we were going to stop this from happening. We're going to stop those incidents from ending careers, those incidents from destroying families, or even pushing cops into a place where they felt suicide was the answer. So we decided to form PISTLE. PISTLE runs anonymous peer support groups for officers. Everybody who comes to PISTLE is vetted by the board, and they are offered the opportunity, if they meet the criteria, to come to a group. When they're in that group, nobody in there except the facilitator knows who they are. We don't ask them their names in group, we don't ask them their agencies, rank, or we don't even ask them to speak the first time they're there. They just get to partake and listen to the other officers and hear what's going on in the healing process in other lives.
It helps me understand that it's a daily battle, but you can get through it, and that there is hope at the end. There is means of getting help and moving past it.
You got to this point by being a warrior. It takes a warrior to get yourself out of this. You're gonna have to find that warrior ethos, that warrior spirit inside of you, and you're gonna have to ask for help, and you're gonna have to be strong enough to heal.